be doing all their stuff by their locker room, just so you know. For Creighton, we're joined by Kyrie Thomas on the left, Maurice Watson Jr. on our right. We'll start with a statement from Coach Greg McDermott.
Heck of a win for us. You know, I've tremendous respect for Kevin and his program. The way they play, they're really hard to play against. The first 10, 12 minutes I thought was indicative of how the game was going to be. It was just such a grinded out every possession on both ends. And then we finally got loose on transition. And, a team that prides themselves on scoring in the paint, we outscored them 42-26. A team that turns you over and turns those into points. Our points off turnovers are 27-9. And while they got 11 offensive rebounds, they only turned it into 8 points. So I thought our execution for the most part was pretty good. And, any shooting ills that Desi Rodriguez has, we seem to have taken care of those because he was terrific tonight. And, those first early shots are scouting reports. He hasn't been shooting it well. We were gonna live with a few of those. And then once he got started, we had a hard time stopping him. But really proud of our team. Marcus Foster, who's been our leading scorer, didn't play particularly well tonight, and he still gets 15 points, and we find a way to win by double digits. So really proud of the way we performed. Maurice was outstanding with 21 and 10, and then limiting in his turnovers. And then, Kyrie's job on Carrington, he's got the ball in his hands all the time, and it's not easy. But I thought he did a terrific job.
Questions for the student athletes?
Maurice, how would you rate that for your performances this season? Or is that not right?
I think that was probably my best game in performances, probably next to Washington State. I think only had one turnover that game. And that's really how I judge my games. And, as I look, I see, it's just even down the line in terms of turnovers, and usually my number is higher than everyone else's. And, we keep it consistent. And then, I really think I did a good job of spreading the ball around the night, especially because they were going under. And I had to pick and choose when to shoot and when to, not get overzealous. And I think this was just one of my best performances in that regard.
What was your mindset? I think they outscored you guys 10-1 to start the second half, and then you scored on a reverse layup to kind of break your field goal drought. I mean, was that a situation where you felt like you had to go to the basket at that point to kind of break through and get things going?
Yeah, for sure. I felt like I tried to get that shot to do that, like a fadeaway jumper, and it wasn't smart, and it actually contributed to our stagnant offense. But at the end of the day, we talked about at halftime that they're usually down at the half and come back and win, and that's what they were on their way to doing. And I try to break the ice for my team and settle them down. And for everybody else involved, I need to be able to score, settle us down, and just do what my team needs me to do, and that's what they needed me to do tonight.
I guess for both guys, it seemed like rebounding and turnovers were going to be the keys to the game, one way or the other. I guess was your performance in those areas tonight just about toughness and being smart, or was there anything more strategic to it?
It was probably just toughness. From the guard, me being a guard, it's probably just about toughness because Delgado and I don't know how to pronounce the other guy's name, but they are tremendous on the offensive glass and defense of glass. So that's what he was kind of stressing all the time. We're going to win this game by rebounds. We got to go in there and help Justin and Cole. So that's what kind of was my main focus right there.
Yeah, same. That's just our, one of our keys to the season is rebounding and defense, limiting our turnovers. And Seton Hall might have averaged, 40 rebounds a game. I looked and they got 34. So, and they dominated us the last couple games on the boards. So to be able to come out and have Taz help rebound, I think I went and got 5. Marcus went and got a couple. Cole, Justin had 9. So I think this was a good team effort in terms of rebounding from the guards, and we just got to continue it throughout the year.
I know Carrington ended up with a lot of points, but just what was your sort of strategy? What were you doing to try to limit him?
He does a lot of pump fakes, so I tried to stay down. I mean, I got up in the air about 2 times, but it was just really taking away his left hand, trying my best to do that, force him into a ball screen going right, and just staying down defensively and run him off the three-point line.
3 more for the student athletes, if there's anything.
Maurice, what do you think of now you guys got the long-awaited showdown with Villanova? A lot of people have been looking forward to that. What's your take on that?
Just a couple days of preparation. We got to really be focused and really locked in. And at the end of the day, you're playing against the #1 team in the country and the New Year's Eve showdown at home. It's early, 12 o'clock before people get their day started, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, this is what you dream for, to play against the #1 team in your house, in front of your fans, to come out and really, really start your Big East playoff on a roll, and also to just solidify, just some things that we've done in non-conference against a national champion.
And what do you think of that, Kyrie, getting a shot at Villanova now?
That should be fun. We lost to them twice last year, so this should be real fun. A good fight for both teams. And I'm sure we're ready. I'm ready. We should be all ready though. So.
We are ready.
They had a tussle against DePaul, and are you glad that you get them as an unbeaten?
I didn't hear about the DePaul game, but
They did. They hung on to beat.
oh well,
Glad they come in unbeaten.
it don't matter. We got to win, so it don't matter. We got to win.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Yep.
Get everybody up their feet.
Yep.
Good job, Jess.
Continuing questions for Coach Greg McDermott.
Nice job, Coach. Coach, for a team that's made its mark shooting the three-pointer over the years, you guys, didn't rely on that necessarily tonight the last few games. How gratifying is it for you to find other ways to score?
Yeah, we've talked about that, throughout the year. I think against Wisconsin, we only took 15 or 16 threes. Against a team that really tries to get it inside, and Wisconsin and Seton Hall are similar in that regard, and that Wisconsin wanted inside touches, as did Seton Hall. And we can shoot the three, but we don't have to shoot the three. And that's the difference between this year's team and last year's team. Last year's team, we probably relied on it, too much, but it was who we were last year. So, I'm just, like I said in the opening, I'm just pleased to get this win. If you'd have told me Carrington and Rodriguez were going to get 51 between them, I'm not sure I'd have been in a good mood right now. I'd have thought that would have been tough for us to win, but we did such a good job of controlling Delgado and frustrating him that was really critical.
What did you think about, I guess, the way Kyrie performed defensively, making things tough for Carrington, and then what does it do for a coaching staff when you can just tell a guy to just lock in?
Yeah, Kyrie's, Kevin Willard said it in the days leading up to the game that he may be the most improved player in the league, and he certainly deserves consideration for that. I watched last year's Big East tournament game a couple days ago against Seton Hall, and Kyrie hardly played. I mean, he was really struggling at that time, confidence-wise, and defensively, you couldn't count on him to be in the right spot, not leave his feet. If you're going to guard an elite player, you got to be really solid. And we'll go back and look at the film. I think he got some of those baskets in the open court on switches. But Kyrie's been terrific. And, everybody talks about Maurice and Marcus and Justin. And Kyrie's pretty darn good.
Greg, did you have any concerns about your guys looking ahead to Villanova because of all the buzz or what happened against Seton Hall the last time?
We didn't, Eric, we have not talked 1 minute about Villanova, and I was honest on the media call yesterday. Except for in the locker room before the game when we had Villanova and DePaul on, I haven't watched him at all. Obviously, I've got a lot of work to do before 3 o'clock tomorrow. But our focus was here. They ended our regular season last year. They beat us the last 2 times in our building, and it's the first game. And if you expect to compete for a conference championship, you have to protect your home floor. You just have to. Teams don't win conference titles and lose 2 or 3 games at home in league play. You just don't. And, we've got some really good teams that are going to come through here. So, it was important to get this one tonight. I was nervous about it because it was a long break. They were home 21, 22, 23, 24. You tell them to get in the gym, but how much do they get in the gym? And then, Christmas night practice is a wash. So really you have 2 days of prep, and I wasn't real pleased with where we were, but we had a lot of fight in us tonight, which was good to see.
13 steals for the team tonight. Seems like a couple of years ago you might have gone all season without that many steals. What kind of a component does that bring into the team?
Again, there's just a level of athleticism that we haven't had before, and guys trust each other and they have each other's back, and some of those steals obviously lead to baskets, and those can break open a game, and that was certainly part of it tonight. But we were active down in the paint on those double teams. We dug out a lot of loose balls. So I'm really pleased, and we finally, 2 games in a row, we've made some free throws, so that's kind of nice to see as well.
You may just got asked about this, but the decision to have Patton kind of play off Delgado, maybe help.
Patton didn't guard Delgado. He guarded Sonogo.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he guarded Sonogo. Our feeling was to come when the double team come. The double team's a 7-footer instead of someone 6'7". So his vision is he's trying to pass it where the double team is coming from, and we just felt like if Cole and Toby and Justin trying to block the guy out, it's a wash because Justin's not big and physical. So let's come with the double team with the taller guy, longer guy to make it a little bit more difficult. So wasn't sure how it would work, but I thought Cole and Toby really did a good job of fighting to keep it out with the front so that there wasn't an easy touch every possession, so we didn't have to go to that double team and then get our defense out of whack, and then you're in rotations the whole time. So obviously they're going to try to get it to him, and they did. But Cole and Toby did a terrific job of fighting him because he's big and strong and one of the best low post players in our league.
It's probably sounds strange, but you only have 10 turnovers tonight. But I feel like a lot of possessions were just a little off as far as some of those lobs and some of those that were just executed almost well enough.
Yeah, I've got to look at it. We had the first play of the second half, and Justin's got a dunk to make it 15. Instead, they go and get a 3-point play. So instead of a 15-point game, it's a 10-point game. And, Justin's knee's still not perfect. And I just didn't feel like he had the bounce off the floor. And again, he's playing way more minutes than I would have anticipated him playing at this stage of his career. And the fatigue factor, I think, is sets in with him. And tonight I just decided to go with Toby more and not use Martine. That probably won't be the case on Saturday, but Justin's doing a lot of good things, and there were just a couple lobs that I just didn't think he was quite as high on, and maybe a couple reads that that we were wrong. We shouldn't have thrown it. It wasn't there. But I've said this many times. We have to throw that pass so that they know that we're looking for it. If you know we're looking for that, you have to keep somebody at that rim, and that's where the backside is open, and you get some things. You get in tough closeouts and things like that. So, playing against Delgado, who's arguably the best big guy in the league, and for him to go 17-9 against him, that's pretty impressive stuff.
Are you happy with when you see what you did against Arizona State with 2 pretty good offensive halves, 2 more pretty solid offensive halves against tonight? Are you happy with the way your team is balancing that play fast, that play with pace, but not necessarily that first side shot thing they struggled with a couple games?
Most of the team, Marcus took a couple I didn't like late, time, score, and, I haven't really coached a guy like Marcus that's capable of, bang, 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 5 shots like that. Doug did it, but Doug did it in a different way. Marcus can make difficult shots, and he's confident in his ability to make difficult shots. And now it's my job to make him understand a difficult shot with 3.5 minutes left on a 1-on-4 is not a good shot, and he just has to understand the difference. But, we shot 56% in both halves against a really good defensive team. I can't ask for more.
You've had some great, showdowns over the years, like with Wichita State and so forth, but with Nova coming in here on Saturday, just from a basketball fan's perspective, could you kind of set the table for what's going to be happening?
Well, it's going to be incredible. If I'd have told you 5 years ago we're going to play the number 1 team in the country, we're going to be ranked number 9, we're going to be in the Big East, you ought to have told me I was crazy, right? So it's really cool, and it's I guess it validates all the resources that we've poured into our program, with the championship center and this beautiful arena that we play in. The things that our administration has done and our boosters have allowed us to do so that we can compete on a level with a team like Villanova. And that's pretty cool. Is it as big a game as playing Wichita State for a conference championship? I don't know about that. That was pretty cool as well. But, to end your new year, 2016, I think for our fans, it's going to be incredible. And obviously you got the defending national champion coming in here that has a huge target on their back for 13 games, and they're still standing undefeated. And that's a credit to Coach Wright and his staff and his team, because everybody's giving them their best shot. You know, they got DePaul's best shot tonight. DePaul hadn't been playing well prior to that game. So that might be the worst thing that happened to us, is that DePaul gave them a scare, because I'm sure Coach Wright he'll have his team's attention the next few days. But it's going to be a special day. I think the place will be hopping. I hope it's hopping, and we need a win. We have to protect our home floor, and it's a great opportunity for us.
Thank you.